The sun dips below the horizon. A warm glow lingers. The forest exhales a soft sigh. Shadows grow long, reaching across the moss-covered ground. The scent of pine needles strengthens. A gentle breeze rustles through the leaves, whispering secrets only the trees can understand. The first stars begin to appear, tiny pinpricks of light against the deepening blue. The forest is a different world now, mysterious, enchanting. The creatures of the day are settling down. The creatures of the night are just waking up. An owl hoots, a low, comforting sound. Deep in the woods, a light flickers. It spills from the window of a small cabin nestled in a glade bathed in moonlight. Smoke curls from its chimney, reaching up to the stars. The cabin is old, built from sturdy logs, and has seen seasons turn countless times. Its wooden walls whisper stories of the past. Inside, a fire crackles in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. A kettle hums softly, the scent of chamomile tea filling the air. A young woman sits by the fire, her face serene in the warm glow. She patiently mends a woolen shawl, her needle moving with practiced hands. Peace fills the cabin, a harmony with the natural world outside. The night deepens and the cabin glows with quiet life. Outside, the forest stands watch. Inside, Alara feels at home. The forest had its own rhythm, a gentle pulse in harmony with the sun. Alara, the young woman, lived attuned to this cadence. She woke with the first light, tending her garden and gathering berries. Each task was a quiet conversation with nature, nourishing both body and soul. Alara moved with a grace born of respect for the woods. The air, cool and fragrant, filled her with a sense of belonging. One day, as she collected kindling, Alara noticed something unusual. A flash of vibrant blue, a feather, shimmering as if woven from sky and magic. Alara picked it up, feeling its warmth and faint inner light. It felt like a gift from the forest, a token of hidden magic. She tucked the feather into her braid, its blue a promise from the woods. As she continued, a tingling awareness crept over her. She glanced over her shoulder but saw nothing. The forest seemed to hold its breath, the usual sounds muted. Alara quickened her pace, heart pounding. The mystery of the feather lingered in her thoughts. Reaching her cabin, Alara felt relief wash over her. The unease faded, replaced by the comfort of home. She prepared a simple stew with wild mushrooms and herbs, savoring the forest's bounty. As the stew simmered, Alara appreciated the abundance around her. The forest provided everything if one knew how to ask. As she ate, her thoughts returned to the blue feather. Its meaning remained a mystery, a secret waiting to be revealed. That evening, Alara sat by the fire, a mug of chamomile tea warming her hands. She listened to the symphony of the forest, the wind, the owl, the crickets. A deep peace settled over her. The forest was more than home, it was part of her. Alara realized the woods weren't trying to frighten her, they were trying to communicate, to share their secrets. She just had to learn how to listen. One evening, a new sound drifted through the trees, a melody, soft and sweet. It was a man's voice, singing a song of longing. Alara paused, her heart quickening with curiosity. The forest had always been her companion, but this voice stirred something new. The melody drew closer, weaving through the trees, beckoning her to follow. She hesitated, but the song was too compelling. Stepping out, Alara moved silently into the moonlit woods. The forest floor shimmered in silver light. The air was alive with the scent of night-blooming jasmine. The magical atmosphere pulled her deeper into the night. The singing led her to a moonlit clearing. There stood a young man, tall and lean, with kind eyes and a gentle smile. He held a wooden flute, his fingers moving with practiced ease. As Alara watched, he finished his song and lowered the flute. Their eyes met across the clearing. The only sound was the gentle rustling of leaves. The young man smiled and stepped forward. "Greetings," he said. "I am Kalen. I hope my music didn't disturb you." Alara smiled back. "I am Alara. Your music is beautiful." Kalen's smile widened. "I am a traveler, wandering these woods in search of inspiration. Your forest is a place of rare beauty and peace." The night seemed to welcome their meeting. Their conversation flowed as easily as a stream. They spoke of the forest, dreams, and the joys of living in harmony with nature. Kalen shared tales of distant lands. Alara shared the forest's secrets. As they talked, they walked deeper into the woods, guided by moon and stars. The forest seemed to embrace them, the trees whispering above. Fireflies danced around them, illuminating their path. The night was alive with magic and possibility. "I have never met anyone like you," Kalen confessed. "You seem to carry the forest within you." Alara blushed, touched by his words. "The forest is my home," she replied. "It has taught me everything I know. To live in such harmony is a rare gift," Kalen said. They stood in silence, hearts echoing each other's rhythm. The fireflies began to dance more frantically, forming a heart-shaped halo around them. Alara gasped in wonder. The forest seemed to celebrate their connection. Kalen reached out, his fingers brushing Alara's. The touch sent shivers through her, connecting them in a way words could not explain. Bathed in the magical glow, they knew their lives had changed forever. Days turned into weeks, each one more magical than the last. Alara and Kalen met every evening in the moonlit glade. The forest welcomed Kalen as one of its own. Their bond deepened with each passing day. One cool evening, Alara pointed to the sky. The northern lights shimmered above, a breathtaking spectacle. Kalen watched, mesmerized as colors rippled and swirled. It was as if the heavens celebrated their love. Alara shared ancient legends of the lights, stories of love that transcended time. As Alara spoke, the wind picked up, rustling the leaves. Kalen felt the forest's ancient wisdom in the whispers of the wind. He realized Alara possessed a rare gift. She could understand the language of the woods. Kalen longed to share that connection. "Teach me," he pleaded one evening by the fire. "The forest speaks to those with open hearts," Alara replied. "Come walk with me." She led him into the heart of the moonlit woods. They walked in silence, footsteps soft on moss. Alara stopped by a towering oak, placing her hand on its bark. "This tree has witnessed centuries," she whispered. She closed her eyes, merging with the oak's strength and wisdom. "Listen," she whispered, as the leaves rustled above. At first, Kalen heard nothing unusual, but as he stilled his thoughts, he sensed a faint humming, pulsing with his heartbeat. The humming grew, filling his senses. Fireflies appeared, their lights blinking in unison, dancing around the oak. Their dance formed swirling patterns, then a perfect heart. Kalen understood this was the language of the forest, spoken in feelings and energy. For the first time, he felt truly part of its ancient embrace. Alara smiled, her eyes filled with love and pride. She had known he would understand, that the forest would open its heart to him as it had to her. He was a kindred spirit, a soul attuned to the rhythms of nature. As they walked back to the cabin, hand in hand, bathed in the soft glow of the moon and the twinkling lights of the fireflies, Kalen knew that he had found something rare and precious in these woods. He had found love, not only for the beautiful Ilara, but for the magical world she called home. And as they stood on the threshold of the cabin, the scent of wood smoke and chamomile tea welcoming them inside, he knew that he would never truly leave this place, for it would forever hold a piece of his heart. One night, the forest felt different. The air thrummed with a silent energy. It was a night like any other, yet it felt extraordinary. The moon, full and round, cast an ethereal glow upon the forest floor. The usual shadows seemed to dance more, alive with anticipation. Ilara, her senses heightened, felt the shift. She knew the forest held secrets, ancient and powerful. Tonight it felt like one of those secrets was about to be revealed. She found Kalen by the stream, his eyes reflecting the moon's silvery light. He too felt the change in the air, a subtle quickening of the pulse of the woods. "Tonight something is different," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the hushed silence of the forest. Ilara nodded, taking his hand. "The forest is calling," she replied, her eyes shining with an otherworldly light. "We must follow." They walked hand in hand, drawn deeper into the woods by an invisible force. The trees seemed to part for them, their branches reaching out in blessing. The scent of wildflowers, usually faint at night, intensified, filling the air with a heady perfume. They arrived at the heart of the woods, a place Ilara had never been before, a hidden glade, bathed in an otherworldly light. The source of the light was a magnificent oak, its ancient branches reaching towards the heavens. But this was no ordinary tree. Its leaves shimmered with 1,000 iridescent colors, pulsing softly as if breathing. Around the tree, every creature of the forest had gathered. A deer, its eyes wide and gentle, stood beside a fox, its russet fur glowing in the strange light. Owls hooted softly, their calls weaving a melody with the chirping of crickets and the rustling of leaves. It was a symphony of nature, a harmonious chorus celebrating something ancient and profound. As Ilara and Kalen approached, the animals parted, creating a path to the base of the glowing oak. They stood there hand in hand, awestruck by the beauty and mystery of it all. The air thrummed with energy, a silent hum that resonated deep within their very beings. Then, from the heart of the glowing oak, a voice emerged. It was not a voice they heard with their ears, but rather a feeling, a deep knowing that resonated within their souls. The voice, ancient and wise, spoke of a pact made long ago, a pact between humanity and nature, a promise to live in harmony, to protect and cherish the earth and all its creatures. The voice spoke of a time when humans had forgotten this pact, their hearts hardened by greed and ambition. A time of imbalance when the earth suffered, and the very soul of nature cried out in pain. But the voice also spoke of hope, hope in the form of two hearts, pure and true, drawn together by destiny. Two hearts who remembered the ancient pact, who felt the pain of the earth as their own. Ilara and Kalen listened, their hearts pounding in unison with the pulse of the forest. They understood. They were the two hearts, chosen to rekindle the ancient bond between humanity and nature. The glowing oak seemed to pulse brighter, bathing the glade in its magical light. The animals stirred, their eyes fixed on Ilara and Kalen, hope and expectation shining in their gaze. The voice asked them to make a promise to protect the forest, to share its wisdom with the world and, to remind humanity of its sacred connection to the earth. Kalen, his heart just overflowing with love for Ilara and this newfound reverence for the natural world, vowed to honor the ancient pact. He promised to dedicate his life to protecting the forest and, all its inhabitants. Ilara, her hand intertwined with Kalen's, echoed his promise. She vowed to continue her grandmother's legacy, sharing the wisdom of the woods and healing the wounds inflicted by forgetful hearts. As they spoke their vows, The air crackled with energy. The leaves of the oak tree rustled, though no wind blew. The animals shifted closer, their warmth and support surrounding the couple like a protective embrace. The voice spoke one last time, its tone just filled with gratitude and hope. It bestowed upon them a gift, a symbol of their connection to the forest and, well, to each other. A single leaf detached itself from the glowing oak, spiraling down towards them. It landed gently in Alara's open palm. The leaf, pulsing with the same iridescent light as the tree, radiated a warmth that spread through her entire being. As she looked at Kalen, she saw the same awe and wonder reflected in his eyes. They both knew this was no ordinary leaf. It was a symbol of their love, their promise, and their connection to the magic of the woods. Holding the leaf carefully, they turned to face the assembled creatures. The forest held its breath, a silent symphony of hope and anticipation hanging in the air. Alara and Kalen, hand in hand, stepped forward. Their journey was just beginning. As the first rays of dawn touched the forest canopy, the glade was bathed in a soft, golden light. The magical glow of the oak tree had faded, leaving behind a memory of warmth and wonder. The animals, their vigil complete, had melted back into the woods, leaving Alara and Kalen standing alone at the foot of the ancient tree. Alara held the shimmering leaf close to her heart, its energy pulsing in sync with her own. The forest felt different now, alive with a renewed sense of purpose. The ancient pact, nearly forgotten, had been rekindled. It flowed through the trees, through the earth, through Alara and Kalen, connecting them all in a web of love and responsibility. Kalen, his senses still tingling from the night's events, turned to Alara, his eyes filled with love and gratitude. He knew his life would never be the same. He had found a home in these woods, a purpose that transcended his wildest dreams. They left the glade hand in hand, their footsteps light on the dew-kissed grass. The forest welcomed them with a chorus of birdsong, a symphony of life celebrating the dawn of a new era. Life took on a new rhythm for Alara and Kalen. They spent their days tending to the forest, their love for each other growing stronger with each passing season. They shared the ancient wisdom of the woods with those who came seeking solace and guidance, their words imbued with the quiet power of the earth. Their cabin, once a solitary haven, became a place of gathering, a beacon of hope for those who yearned to reconnect with the natural world. Children laughed as Alara taught them about the language of animals, their eyes wide with wonder. Travelers, weary from their journeys, found peace and rejuvenation in Kalen's stories of the interconnectedness of all living things. The shimmering leaf from the oak tree held a place of honor in their home, a constant reminder of the pact they had made and the love that bound them together. As the years turned into decades, their hair turned silver, but their love for the forest and for each other only deepened. They lived their lives in service to the ancient pact, their hearts overflowing with gratitude for the gift of each precious day. One starlit night, as they sat by the fire, the warmth of their love filling the cabin, Alara turned to Kalen, her eyes shining with a familiar light. "It is time," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the crackling flames. Kalen, his heart heavy yet understanding, nodded silently. He had known this day would come. The forest, always a source of life and renewal, was also a place of endings. They walked hand in hand for the last time to the heart of the woods. The glade welcomed them, bathed in the soft glow of the moon, just as it had all those years ago. The ancient oak, its branches reaching towards the heavens, seemed to pulsate with a gentle energy, acknowledging their arrival. Alara and Kalen turned to each other, their faces illuminated by the moon's silvery light. They embraced, their bodies merging into one, their love for each other as timeless and enduring as the forest itself. And then, as the first rays of dawn touched the forest canopy, they were gone. The glade stood empty, yet filled with an unseen presence. The ancient oak tree, its leaves rustling softly in the breeze, held their love within its heartwood, a testament to the enduring power of the wild.